Two of your bills have been signed by the governor. Tell us about them.
One has to do with domestic violence, House Bill 1315, and the other has to do with cybersecurity, 1455. Both those bills have been going through the process. It's been a long process, but they're moving forward. One will help survivors of domestic violence, and the other will protect our data. We've seen a lot of data breaches in the government, and this will help prevent that.
What happened with your House Bill 1357 that would have required voters' pamphlets to be provided upon request to registered Washington voters living and working overseas, including those serving in the military?
Yeah, that bill went through the House fine, unanimous, had great support, got to the Senate and was engulfed in another bill, a opposing party bill, and ended up dying. But it'll be back. Every bill's alive for the whole biennium, which is 2 years. So that'll be a priority bill for next year. And since it's passed the House unanimously, we should be able to easily get it through next year. Hopefully not virtually.
You're also working on several provisos to the budget. Can you tell us about those?
Sure. One is a juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. This was a bill that I ran for my legislative assistant, Ben, whose son suffers from juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. There's over 6,000 cases in the state of Washington. And there were only 2 doctors in the Seattle area when we started this work that were available to all of those children. So this bill helps with that. There's no fiscal note on the bill. It doesn't cost taxpayers any money, but it's a way to make sure we ensure that we have at least one in Eastern Washington and then more throughout the state to help those kids who are suffering. And so that should do really well, I think. That's already in the budget. As long as it stays in the budget, then we'll be good in the next 6 days. There's more than one path to pass a bill in the legislature, and this is an alternative way to do that.
And then you also have another one on the Youth Suicide Review Team?
Yes, that bill also went through the House and got stuck. So that bill will make sure that we're addressing the fact that about 16% of youth in Washington state, 15 to 17, according to OSPI, which is a government agency here, our very own, it says that they currently have a suicide plan. Those are our students, those are our family members, and we have to address that. So that bill does that. It should easily go through. It'll be pre-filed in December, and then January we'll start over through the process.
And also you have $1.9 million for an expedited forensic capabilities program that assists in sexual assault kits lab processing.
Yes, so that one is trying to keep that in the budget. It's in the House budget. We're trying to keep it in the Senate budget before we leave and adjourn. And so that's our work right now. That makes sure that we have rapid DNA testing to get results on the untested rape test kits that we've been battling. There were 10,000 just in Washington state alone and 1 million over the entire country. But we want to get rid of that backlog of those untested kits where the survivor thought they were tested and the government failed. So this would address that and make it done much more quickly. Also, we can use the machines that we'd be purchasing. There's 3 of them for DUI backlogs. And there's really long backlogs right now currently in Washington state, unfortunately.
What's the latest efforts to address the state Supreme Court Blake decision, which has essentially legalized the possession of drugs?
We're still working on that. We're trying to get some sort of a fix before we leave. Also, there's over 70 people who've had felony charges that are in the process of being let go in Washington state alone. That number, I think, is much higher than that, as we find anything that was charged as a simple possession as a felony and they went to prison for, we open the gates and they walk right back through again. It's heartbreaking because we don't have the resources or the facilities for them to get help. We don't have enough resources. The infrastructure is not there yet once we release them. So we're very concerned about what that's going to look like in our communities.
What are your plans after the regular session ends on April 25th?
Sleep. Not very exciting, but this session's been 17 to 20-hour days because of the public safety and leadership positions, trying to make sure that we were ready every single day. So I think a few days I'll sleep and then hopefully just spend time with family and my dog Hero. So make sure that you know that I work for you year round. All you need to do is go to representative.GinaMosbrucker.com at our website. You can just Google Gina Mosbrucker. You'll pop up and see lots of resources with House Republicans. You'll see resources with phone numbers and contact information. But our staff are still working, though it's virtual so far. And hopefully we'll be back in the Capitol next year.